from Easttown. CT, Danny Liff, and Julisi boy. We up right now, locking up your Saturday. Tell your bookie send my payment. Lot of opinions, but we only care about one statement. It's Boston Eddie Cappers, yeah. 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 Boston Eddie Cappers, yeah. Boston Eddie Cappers, yeah.
Welcome in to the Monday opener. It is the Boston Handicap opener here, Monday, September 22nd here with my partner CT Bet. CT, what's going on?
Partner, good to be here. Happy Monday. And we got a good Monday night football game tonight. So another week in the books, and let's get at it.
All right. And of course, with us as well as Julian Edlow, who I don't think can hear us. We'll see. Jules, can you hear? You can actually hear us today, Jules. All right. That's good.
Yeah, I ditched the headphones. I hope that's not a problem.
Not a problem at all. I mean, your hair looks disheveled, I'd say, but not a problem at all. Looks lovely. It's okay. I don't have any hair, Jules. It's all good. I'm bald. I'm balding, so it's whatever. A good week for us in college football, fellas. Just doing the old recap here. I did send it out. I could be wrong because I did it very, 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 very quickly. But from what I got, 6-3 plus 4.6 units. Tell me if I'm incorrect there. But had a nice win. Got the Iowa win, the Memphis win, the Duke double win. The Memphis was a double win, by the way. The Kansas win, the Virginia win. Did have the SMU loss, and the Baylor loss, and the USC loss as well. Am I missing anything there?
Tough one on the USC loss there.
Yeah, I didn't even see the end of the game, but not a fun one from what I understand. I'm not sure if I'm missing anything. If I am, I apologize. I did it very, very quickly.
I'll tell you on my end in a second, but
okay, I'll have it cleaned up for the actual podcast.
I think you had a couple. And I know we can't count them, but I think you had a couple ads on Twitter that hit. I had a Michigan ad, 2 units on.
That's right.
On Twitter that hit. So all in all, pretty good week.
We did lose our juice reel play. Mid Tennessee State +3 had the lead late in the fourth quarter and ended up losing by 2 touchdowns. Go fucking figure how that happens. But classic group of 5 game there. So we did lose that one. We'll definitely be counting a juice reel record going forward again on the podcast. Just hard to do here on a Monday night. But anyways, we have some sponsorships to get to here, fellas. So CT, I'll start with you.
Yeah, this week, college football / week 4 episode of the Boston Handicappers Network podcast is brought to you by Bet105.ag. With the most competitive odds in the business, go check out Bet105.ag. Be on the lookout for the Boston Handicappers best bet on the site, where Bet105 will be boosting odds on our favorite play each and every week. And tonight, for Monday Night Football, which Jules and I have a play in, Bet105 is offering 25-cent lines on all props for the Ravens-Lions showdown. Go get all your player props to the best lines in the market. Bet105.ag, where the pros play.
And Viva, this Boston Handicappers Monday opener, brought to you by Viva Tequila Seltzer, only 88 calories and a 4.5% ABV. Viva Tequila Seltzer is the most refreshing seltzer out there, clean, light, and dangerously drinkable, made with real tequila and bold flavors like huckleberry and grapefruit. Viva pairs perfectly with a winning ticket and some football. And Saturday, October 4th, join us for our live show at Rosa Lions in South Boston. We'll cover all the big games. May have a special guest joining us as well. Again, Saturday, October 4th at Rosa Lions in South Boston. Viva, live long, live well, live it up. Viva. And again, just had our live show last Saturday at Stats in South Boston. Smashing success. Met a bunch of fans out there. It was awesome for you guys to come hang out, watch some football with us. Didn't cash the SMU ticket. Did cash some Memphis tickets though, so that was nice. Did get those and had a couple winners in the early window. A couple losers, couple winners. It was a fun day, and we'll do it again. And July 4th, anyways, or sorry, not July 4th, October 4th. October 4th. Anyways, fellas, let's get to the games. We'll start off with this one. 125, 126 Notre Dame and Arkansas opened 6 to get up to 6.5. There were some 7 minus 120 out there. And then there was a certain fan of Notre Dame who came out today and said he liked Arkansas. And unfortunately, this line kind of got bet the other way. Let's take a look at this one, fellas, because it has not been very kind to this Notre Dame team whatsoever. The defense has been utterly embarrassing so far. I'll start with you on this one, Chris. Any thoughts on this game? Any thoughts from an angle or anything you like in this one?
Well, I think the thing that we didn't talk about last week on the show is when the whole tell came out about CJ Carr on the pass and the run. By the way, his feet are set when he's taking the snap. Thought that was pretty interesting. And we had I had a fan, a longtime listener. He actually DM'd me and I missed it, and because we were doing the live show. He actually went to Purdue. He told me that Endy was going to absolutely smash Purdue and to take the Irish. I missed it there, but great call on him. I mean, probably what Notre Dame needed, right? Kind of a game at home where you get an opponent, which is Purdue, which predicted to finish last in the Big Ten, and you get to kind of take it out on them. Price scores 4 touchdowns there. I don't have much on this one, Dan. I know you guys were on Memphis on Saturday here, so I was looking to see what you guys thought. At home here, noon game, sharp money coming in on the Hogs. Tough spot for CJ Carr and the freshman going on the road there. I don't have one way I lean on this one.
Jules, over to you.
Yeah, I mean, preseason, I really like this Notre Dame team because I thought the defense was going to be really good. Again, Phil Steele in his magazine had Notre Dame top secondary in the country. Number 1 defensive backs position ratings.
Yeah.
And the other ones, every position rating was in the top 5. Way off. This defense sucks. So I was interested in the over. You know, we see it come out on places like DraftKings early in the morning and some of the other more public books. And I'm just looking at the total, like, is this going to be out somewhere that I can, bet it for what I want to bet it for? It was 61.5. It's up to 64.5. It's getting bet in the right direction. I mean, Taylor Green in that offense can hum. I don't know how they slowed down against Memphis. That was pretty fortunate. The lack of scoring from Arkansas late in that game. But Arkansas can score, and they're going to score off a loss at home here against Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame can score too. Arkansas is not great on defense. So I like the over in the game. I don't know if I'm going to get there at 64.5. We'll see if it comes back down at all. If it doesn't, I might just be interested in an Arkansas team total, which isn't going to be that high. And I just don't believe in Notre Dame's defense. And you're getting the home team off a loss to put up some points there. Maybe Notre Dame outscores them, but pretty confident in the Arkansas side getting there on the team total.
Yeah, I mean, Chris Ash has just been a horrendous hire to take this defense from what it was to what it currently is. They have talent. I mean, they do have a lot of talent there, but man, Ash has just absolutely ruined this defense. Losing Al Golden might be sneakily the biggest loss of Notre Dame's 2024 roster, which is kind of saying something considering they're starting Carr. And Carr has looked significantly better the last couple of games. I want to give him credit there because I thought when he first came in, he looked absolutely fucking terrible. But man, the defense is horrendous. I think Arkansas just runs right through them, man. I don't know how they stop Taylor Green and this offense from scoring. I like Memphis. I'll say this. I like Memphis's defense more than like Notre Dame's defense right now. And that's kind of why I got there with the points last week. I think they got some late stops. That was great. I don't know if Notre Dame can do it, man. We'll have to see because it's not a good situation for them now.
This one, by the way, when we put game of the year lines out at DraftKings over the summer, opened 12.5. Notre Dame laying 12.5. It was 10.5 at one point in time. It was 7.5 at one point in time. Obviously, it kind of reopens as the season goes on, and now we're well through that touchdown.
So 7-point move on that one. Pretty big. All right, fellas, move over to 133, 134. Indiana, Iowa, currently sitting 8, 7.5 some places, 48.5 the total. Did open 6, so open under that touchdown price. I know you guys both have thoughts on this one. So CT, I'll start with you here because you are a resident Iowa guy. I will start with you. What are your thoughts on the on this game?
Yeah, I bet Indiana here -6.5 at FanDuel yesterday. And I kind of feel like Cignetti kind of did what he said he was going to do, right, Dan, at the Big Ten conference this summer. Everybody, the question was like, okay, who's going to be that Indiana of last year? And Cignetti was like, it's us. We didn't go anywhere. I'm telling you, it's going to be us. And man, I'll tell you something. He came out and showed it on Saturday. Cignetti was an absolute dog. That IU team just absolutely smashed doors on that Illinois team that returned the bunch and that everybody thought was gonna be right there until be that third team or third or fourth team in the Big Ten there. Didn't really like what I saw out of the Iowa D on Friday night. Even though we got the cash there, I don't think that this is the Phil Parker defense that we're used to seeing year in and year out. And I think Gronowski's been a good addition for the Hawkeyes. The tight ends and the wide receivers just can't catch enough balls, man. And Jazz Patterson, he got banged up. He might not be a go this weekend for the Hawkeyes. So running back room, even as deep as it is, going to be banged up. And I don't think Cignetti's going to let off the gas here. I thought the number was short, even though it's on the road and in Iowa here. It's just not the defense that we're used to seeing. And I think IU is going to absolutely shred that D. Cignetti's not going to let off the gas here. So I bet IU -6.5. I think they take care of the job on the road here.
All right, Jules, over to you.
Yes, I mean, CT follows Iowa closer than any one of us. But I played Iowa +8 when it was sitting at +8. Spot-wise, I think this is a great spot for Iowa. I know you're coming off the road win. It was on Friday night, so you get a little bit of an extended week. Now you're back home off of you can say what you want if you're Indiana, but that was a huge game for them, and they completely showed up. They're obviously a good team. Quarterback moved all the way to the Heisman favorite from that game, nearly by halftime of that game.
Yeah.
But now you got to go on the road the next week after a performance like that. It just seems like the ultimate value spot. I was thinking this was going to be like 4.5 prior to watching Indiana play. And now we're getting near double that. It's a little bit of value. Iowa's last 7 games as a home dog, 5-2 ATS. Again, do I have some concerns? Did the defense look like your classic Iowa defense on Friday night? No. But I trust them at home to stick in there and make this a game. Like some of these games, looking at them as an underdog, dogs of 20+ points to like Michigan and Penn State in recent years, winning those games outright. Maybe I'm just having a problem with Indiana being this big bad powerhouse in the Big Ten. But I trust Iowa to be able to run the ball, maybe make some more plays through the air. I didn't think the receivers were that bad on Friday night. I thought Gronowski at first was pretty poor, and then they kind of stabilized late. But ultimately, what got them there late was the defense finally getting some stops. Couldn't stop a nosebleed early in the game, figured it out late. I'm hoping they can figure it out at home as this game goes on and keep it within a possession.
Yeah, I don't have any real thoughts. I think the number is pretty close to where it is right now, 7.5, 8. I think that's a pretty good number. I think Indiana, again, continuously shows that they beat up on some of the dregs in the league here, and that's kind of what I expect. Connor makes a point here, says everyone is on Indiana, scares the crap out of me. I mean,
that's Monday.
Probably. Yeah, it's Monday. It doesn't matter. And yes, I'm sure Indiana will be a public side, but we just saw a couple major public sides cover this weekend. Who cares? I mean, there's going to be public sides that win and cover. It's just part of it. Brandon says we need to get CT's track record on Iowa games. Has to be an elite hit rate. Ken Vouch, his Iowa information is phenomenal and usually does go very well. And of course, he also says that my setup is just an all-timer, dark room, no light. That's correct. I'm not home right now, so I am DL on the road, and it is certainly an interesting setup. I'll certainly say that. I'll be home later, but yeah, not an ideal situation to say the least. Anyways, move on, guys, to a game I would like to talk about. 175-176, Ole Miss and LSU. Team really was pretty low on coming into the year was this Ole Miss team. They have a phenomenal game and just absolutely kicked the living shit out of Tulane, which I have yet to watch the game. And I am very, very, very interested to watch that game back and see what the fuck happened to, I thought, a pretty good group of five offense and a pretty good quarterback in Jake Retzlaff. And a pretty piss poor defense in Ole Miss. That being said, Ole Miss opens a dog in this one, now currently sitting at a 2.5 point favorite. There was some 3 minus 120 today. I can tell you, I played that for LSU. I'm going to take LSU here. I don't care that this is a road spot for them. I don't understand this game at all. I think I watched Ole Miss play a mediocre SEC offense the other day, and I wasn't impressed by their defense against an Arkansas team. And I think this LSU offense, while they haven't exactly hummed so far earlier in the year, I think this is an elite quarterback they have to face and an elite wide receiver group, although they haven't really played like it. They also have to face, in my opinion, by far the best defense they faced to date. I think you're going to see, Chambliss has been really good. Yeah, he's been phenomenal the last 2 weeks, but now he has to face, in my opinion, a top 15 defense. I mean, the success rate hasn't been quite as good as the EPA has been, but it's up there, man. They're a top 35 defense, no doubt. And so now you combine a borderline elite offense with a very, in my opinion, poor defense. Not to mention you have the star linebacker of LSU coming out saying that he's dating Lane Kiffin's daughter. They just announced that publicly. Certainly a fun story for this week. So I'll be on the pup here. I'll be taking the points, waiting for a 3. So it won't be an official play, but waiting for a 3 or 3 minus 120 is playable. I played that. I'll play some money line too, waiting to see if this money line keeps ticking up a little bit. I think people are really hyping up this Ole Miss team off of, again, I haven't watched the Tulane tape. I'm kind of interested to see it, but I just kind of don't want to go too overboard on what this team is exactly going to be, because I'm just not totally impressed with what they've done so far, and certainly the resume is not impressive at all. Jules, I'll start with you. Anything in this game?
Yeah, I lean LSU. I was down compared to market on both teams coming into the season. It looks like, I guess, so far a little bit wrong on both. Both have been better than expectations. LSU at first looked maybe to be well above expectations, but now that Clemson win seems like nothing. Like, that's just a little blip on the radar. So this is going to be a telling game. I think we're going to learn a lot about both teams. I don't know if I will ultimately have a play in it, but if it's 3, you can potentially interest me in LSU plus 3.
It's down to 1 pretty much everywhere I'm seeing right now.
Really? It got bet down? Again? 1.5. There you go. It got bet down. It was 2.5 like an hour ago.
1 right now.
Yeah, it was 2.5 an hour ago when I did the numbers for the game. So there you go. I did bet 3 minus 120. That's that. So hopefully it goes back. We'll see Wednesday night when we record the podcast where it is. You can pretty much guarantee I'll be on LSU regardless of the number. I'll made them the favorite in this game.
I agree with Caveman. Tough spot for Shameless. Even though, I mean, the transfer has been unbelievable, and what has been asked of him to do, kind of coming in with the injury there and stepping in, he's been unbelievable. Kind of the problem that I would have with LSU is, all right, yeah, the defense has been great, but okay, Now, does that Clemson 17-10 win? Is that a great win anymore?
Nope.
Probably
No.
not.
Certainly not.
Then you beat Louisiana Tech 23-7. Then you beat Florida 20-10. And Lagway has 5 turnovers, and Florida still has a chance to cover the game with the 5 turnovers. And I get it. You're not giving up points. But we know Kiffin, and I get it. It's a tough spot for the transfer there from Ferris State. But you got to figure he's going to be able to put up points. And then you play East Louisiana, and you blast them 56-10. So how tested has LSU been? Not sure. Not saying I like one side or the other. Just kind of playing devil's advocate here.
No, fair. I kind of think maybe, and again, I made the number a little bit lower than game. I'm expecting at some point an LSU offensive breakout, and I just don't know exactly when that breakout's going to be, but I think it has the possibility of coming in this game this week. So 54.5 currently sitting the total at Bet 105. Maybe that ends up happening. All right, 195, 196, Penn State, Oregon. Penn State currently 3-point favorite over this Oregon team. Jules, I'll start with you on this one. I don't have a ton of thoughts. I'll save most of my thoughts for the podcast, but I know you've had some thoughts on this one. Big game you were looking forward to from the start of the year. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I'm taking Penn State -3. I've bet Penn State -3.
Show play?
Yeah, if it's 3 now, we can use it.
Okay.
If it's not, we'll get it in at 3 later in the week.
Nope, it's 3. You're good.
Okay. I don't tell me if I'm going to put it this way. Can anybody make a good argument that we've seen anything from these teams so far that should make me not stick to my preseason handicap on this game? Because I don't care that Penn State hasn't covered some of these numbers against lower level competition. If it's 52-0 or 52-7 against Villanova, that's the difference in covering or not covering. They didn't cover on a backdoor one-handed grab. So now they're not running through the lower level competition the way that they need to be. So because that kid made a one-handed catch, Penn State's not playing as well earlier in the year. I know they came out a little slow in some of the other early games. I don't think they've had to show much. I don't think they've tried to show much, which is a little bit different for Franklin, who sometimes tries to, plow these teams out of the water and cover spreads. Maybe making a playoff run last year matured him a little bit, and they're just showing absolutely nothing through 3 games. You get a whole bye week to prep for this massive home game, biggest regular season Penn State game in 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years. And you got Oregon playing every week so far, blowing teams out of the water. So now the market is higher on them. Maybe that's an advantage for Penn State to see more of this film on Oregon. They have to play. I know Oregon State stinks. You guys know that. We've bet them way too much this year. I'm not betting Oregon State ever again. But they had to play that in-state rivalry game last year, which is, I was about to say no layup. It is a layup, but you at least have to look at it and play the game. And now you got to come out east for this whiteout game. So I'm trusting my preseason cap on this game. I haven't seen anything that would lead me to change that. We still have to see more go on the road and play this real road game against an elite defense.
Connor says, no idea, but for the love of God, Jules, please do not do another money line parlay.
0 for 2 on money line parlays. I think this.
I think you should. I think you might need to retire those, Jules.
Maybe 0 for 3.
Yeah, 0 for 3. That's right. 0 for 3. 0 for 2
yeah,
week 1.
It's 0 for 3.
Yeah. All right, CT, over to you. Any thoughts on this game?
I think this is one of those games, right, where you're going to see Penn State get bet at 3, right? And then as it ticks up to 3.5, you see some Oregon money come in and people bet Oregon, and it's going to go back and forth all week long here. The whiteout game, we know what Franklin does in big games, kind of pisses down his leg here. I don't know if I could get there with Penn State. I think that, Dan, you and I kind of were both down on this Oregon team this year. I think Dante Moore has kind of stepped in, been a nice little piece behind center for Dan Lanning. And I get it. They haven't played anybody, but either is Penn State. But man, it feels like Lanning's on like a revenge tour here, just lighting it up with Dante Moore. I think at 3.5, I gotta like the Ducks here. So we'll have to see what happens here in the week, but I don't know. Franklin kind of going through the motions here. Running backs haven't been explosive as everybody has talked about. We'll have to see what happens here, but curious to see what you thought on this one, Dan.
I didn't have a ton. Made the game 3.5. I think if it gets to 2.5, you can find me on Penn State. I don't think I'd be interested in Oregon unless it was above 4.5, probably the number you got me interested. I'm very concerned about the Oregon run defense. They've been really bad in specific spots, and I would just make note of their run defense in certain spots here. Teams have been able to run on them. The defensive success rate has not been good. Number 72 in the country in the defensive success rate.
Penn State was able to run on them in the conference championship game, even though they lost last year.
And that's also kind of has some, I think there's potentially some revenge on the mind there. And I do think Oregon is just being wildly overrated by everyone. I got told the other day they're the number 1 rated team in the country. And I was like, okay, that's crazy. They struggled against Northwestern. So I don't know. What's probably more of a data point game than anything for me. Let's move over to the game that will be going up against them at the same time. Need 2 TVs for Saturday night. 197, 198, Georgia and Bama. This one opened 4 above that 3 number, sitting 2.5 minus 115. Some places 51.5 is the total. CT, I'll start with you on this game. You are a Bama guy. Are you rolling with Bama here, even though the game is in Georgia? I'm assuming you probably want 3 or better if you're going to end up taking Bama here, but what are your thoughts? I think there's probably some 3s out there still.
Yeah, kind of kills me to say I kind of lead the dogs here. The Georgia Bulldogs, slight lean there. I mean, I want to like Bama, and I like what they've done after, week 1, losing that game to Florida State. Come back and you blast Wisconsin, Dan. But how good is that win, right? The 3 of us were texting and we're like, wow, Bama looks so good right now. And Ty looks awesome. He looks dialed in the last 2 weeks after losing that game. And then Wisconsin just goes out and gets blasted as 10-point favorites to Maryland. I thought Georgia showed a lot of toughness last week or 2 weeks ago versus Tennessee. Like, to come back and win that game and do what they like, to score that touchdown, to get the 2-point conversion, to go to overtime, to win that game. And I get it. Like, it's not the Kirby Smart defense that we're used to seeing year in and year out. I just think it's going to be a really, really tall task for Bama to go in there this night game and get the win, especially with the way things went down last year in that game. I kind of like Georgia here, and I'm probably going to be on Georgia.
All right, Jules, over to you.
Yeah, I played Georgia -3. CT covered a lot of the reasons there, and then also I'm not down on Alabama. I think Alabama is better than they were in that FSU loss. FSU could just be very good, but nonetheless, that's a similar road game. And that's given FSU a ton of respect to say that's a similar road game than going to Georgia. I think Alabama is going to go revert to some of those struggles again on the road. And that doesn't mean Alabama is not going to finish the year 10-2, right, maybe 9-3, and be a college football playoff team that looks really good at times. But going on the road to Georgia is a completely different game. Georgia has not lost at home since October of 2019 in double overtime to South Carolina. It was low 30s, the win streak coming into the year. So we're mid 30s. I don't have the exact number, mid 30s in terms of wins in a row at home for Georgia. And like CT said, is this the Georgia defense of the last 5 years? Probably not, but it's also not the Alabama of the last 5 years. And I think that kind of levels out. So I do like Gunnar Stockton. I do like Georgia's offense. Look at the plays they made against Tennessee. I trust Georgia to make more plays offensively in this game. And I think this is a pretty good spot for the Bulldogs to get revenge from that wild game that was almost a completed comeback in Tuscaloosa last year.
So I'm just quickly going to talk about this one. I'm way off market here. I made Bama the favorite. So I am probably not going to, I'm probably not going to end up betting the game. I'm concerned about their run offense, being the ability to run the ball. They've been horrible running the football this year. The one thing that Georgia has been able to do is stop the run so far. So this is going to be a game where you're going to see Simpson throw 30, 40 times a game. That kind of scares the shit out of me. I did make Bama the favorite, though. And again, in Georgia, really tough, but that's not a great Georgia offense. They're mediocre. I think the Bama team probably better than people think. I think Circa right now sitting 2.5, Bet 105 sitting 3. I think if you like Bama, make sure you get the 3. And if you like Georgia, go on Circa right now and lay the 2.5 because that's the best number. I don't think it's going to get any lower than that. So
I don't either.
What's the juice on 2.5?
Minus 110. It's
wow.
110. You want to give that as a show play, Jules?
Done.
Okay. CT, you joining him?
No, I'm good right now.
Okay. All right, there you go, Jules. You give out Georgia minus 2.5 sitting at Circa right now. All right, let's move over to the NFL. But before we do that, Jules.
Oh boy.
All right, Jules, not ready.
No, I'm always ready.
Always
Even
ready.
with your typos, we will get through this.
I fixed the typos.
We love
Jules.
Juice Reel here at the Boston Handicappers Network. This College Football Week 5, NFL Week 4 episode of the Boston Handicappers Network podcast is brought to you by Juice Reel. The world's first transparent betting marketplace is finally here. No more scammers. If you believe you're a winner, simply sync your sports books to the app and all your plays will be shown. Want to find the best bettors? Everyone's bets are ranked and records are proven. You can access those proven winners' plays through the app or get paid if somebody tails your bets. You can also find exclusive bets from the Boston Handicappers here on Juice Reel each week that won't be given out on the podcast. Don't worry, they're still free. Just go download the Juice Reel app and add the Boston Handicappers as friends via the link provided in our Twitter profile. Any questions, as always, feel free to DM us. Juice Reel, where transparency is king.
There you go. And if you have any problems getting our plays for free, DM us on Twitter, either one of us individually or the Boston Handicappers account. We will make sure to get that link over to you. Juice Reel, a phenomenal app. Go check it out. I've had a lot of people tell me they love the experience of it so far. So we only have a few minutes left here. So we're only going to do 2 NFL games today. We'll make sure we hit all of them on the podcast. I did want to start with this one because we did tease it in the profile here, though. 253, 254, Eagles and Bucks. Bucks just keep finding a way to win. Eagles keep finding ways to win. Opens 345.5. Now sitting 3.5, 43.5. Some defense here. Mike Evans probably out this week. With the hamstring, it does seem like Tristan Wirfs is likely back for the Bucks. It seems that Chris Godwin is back for the Bucks. So a couple big additions there, but one big subtraction as well. I'll start with you on this one, Jules. Any thoughts on this Eagles and Bucks game for Sunday?
I bet Eagles small when it was 2.5. Not going to give it out at 3.5. But what I do really like is Tampa's win total is now 11.5. I understand that they're 3-0 and you need to adjust it by the games you've won, but that's a fortunate 3-0 and you have a lot of injuries and the schedule toughens up. It is a soft finish to the schedule, but like right now you got to play Philly, then go to Seattle, then play San Francisco, then go to Detroit. Those are 4 difficult games in a row right there, and Detroit's on Monday Night Football. New Orleans and New England, easier, but then you got another tough stretch at Buffalo, at the Rams, and against the Cardinals. Finishes soft, like I said. New Orleans, Atlanta, Carolina, Miami, Carolina. So if Tampa can beat some good teams like right now, then they're going to go over 11.5 wins. But I think that's a really good number based off preseason and with how dinged up and fortunate this team has been. And, the injuries could add up. They do for a lot of teams. So I really like Tampa under 11.5 wins right now.
CT, over to you.
I'm really, really happy that I was not home yesterday and I was at the Pats game because I would have had the Rams, and I probably would have lost my fucking mind. Bad beat. Tip of the cap to you if you had the Rams there. That's a tough one. God, it's like they have that horseshoe up their ass again this year, the Eagles, and it's wild. I mean,
Bucks have a bigger horseshoe up there.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah,
luckiest team in the NFL is right now Tampa Bay.
Yeah, they do. They have one as well. Like you said, I mean, Mayfield's been tough. No Evans is going to be even tougher without him. It's tough for me to back this Bucks team with I don't know. Philly looks like even though the offense hasn't really been there, they showed up in the second half yesterday, and they got that job done. So maybe they're starting to figure things out here.
Yeah, I have nothing in this game yet. I could only have Philly in this game, especially with no Evans. I think we start to see a slow decline of this Bucks team, ever so slowly. I think this is the beginning of the end for them rather quickly. We'll do one more game here, and then we'll move on, guys. I do want to talk about this one. It's probably the biggest game next week. 273, 274, Ravens and Chiefs. Ravens currently sitting 2.5, minus 115. Did open 3. 47 is the total. Kansas City gets a really nice win. I know Baltimore is about to kick off in about 2 minutes here. Quickly. Oh, it just kicked off. Okay, CT thoughts on the game here.
I thought the Chiefs looked horrible last night, even though they got the job done. It's just not the same Chiefs team that we've seen here. And I get it. It's probably disrespectful that the Ravens are laying points here on the road, but I feel like he needs to get his weapons back, Dan, like ASAP, because between Tyquan Thornton and Juju Smith and Kelsey, it's just not cutting it here. So I get it. Like, it's usually a spot I would want to back KC. Want to see what happens here tonight. I got the Ravens. I gave it out last week, as well as Jules. So nothing here from me yet.
All right, Jules, over to you.
Yeah, it's hard to like Kansas City right now. Even though they got through and easily covered. The Giants are inept. Like, you go into a game without a kicker and you're throwing the ball away on the goal line down 2 scores. The Giants just laid down and lost the game. So I don't feel like I gained any respect for Kansas City last night. It's hard to say. We got to watch the Ravens here play a big game and then go on the road to Kansas City in a short week. So it's hard for me to tell you that I like them, but in a vacuum, absolutely Ravens over the Chiefs right now. Let's just see how tonight plays out. But I love the matchup for Baltimore. Not wild about the
Spot's kind of brutal, but yeah.
All right, everyone. Hope you had a great week. I'm sorry, short show tonight on a Monday. We got moving the opener to next Tuesday next week because we do have a doubleheader again on Monday Night Football. So we would do a Tuesday opener next week. We will talk to you all on Wednesday night. Thursday podcast will be out. We'll see you then. Live show October 4th, Rosa Lions, South Boston. See you there. Have a